Hi, I'm Liz Barton. I'm Ambassador Diamond with It Works Global, and I'm here to share my story with you how I reached to Ambassador Diamond. It all started for me back in, it would be summer of 2011, and I was working at Restore Community Church as the children's ministry director. I had just had my youngest son back, and I had taken a year leave from Liberty Public Schools to stay at home with him and my son Cole. And so I took the job at Restore Community Church with my trying to make a difference. I had a dream that I wanted to stay home with my kids, and that was going to be made possible by also having the church job, being able to help and volunteer there because that brought in a little bit of income. Um, so I met a family when I was the children's ministry director. Lori Conway and her clan would come in, and I would get to greet them. And we got to know them well because they had a lot of kids, so they brought a lot of energy to our children's ministry. And so Lori had shared with me that she was doing It Works. She was selling these all natural products, and she was all excited about it. And so I decided that in August that I was going to go back to school. I had taken that year leave, and it was time to go back. And um, I was excited for a change. I had done kindergarten and I had done first grade. I had taught for 6 years, and so I was going to try third grade. So it was going to be a little bit different of experience for me. And so I went back to school that year, and I was teaching again. And I contacted Lori in January of 2012 because I kept following her Facebook pages. And I said, Lori, you got to tell me more about this. What is this all about? Because I knew in my heart that there was something to this. Um, I went over to Lori's house on Martin Luther King Jr. Day because we had that day off of school, of course, and I tried an Ultimate Body Applicator, and I loved my results. I could see a difference in my skin on my before and after pictures. Being a mommy belly, I could see that skin starting to tighten. And so I knew in my heart that for me, if I saw these results, what are other people going to do? And I didn't want to sell these wraps and send my friends to Lori because Lori told me what she was making at the time, and she was making almost $1,900 a month. And so for me, here I am. I just went back to school. I thought maybe what would $300 a month be? So I started in this business. I knew I had four friends that were going to try a wrap, and that was going to pay for my $99 kit. And so I went out and I talked about it. And I talked about it and I talked about it, and I was excited. I went to work and I went to these teachers. I'm like, you will never believe what I have my hands on. I tried one of these It Works body applicators, and it was amazing. You guys have to do it. You will love it. You will love it. And so I talked a few of them into it. They wanted to try it too. And so when they loved their results, of course, then they started talking to their friends and their family members, and the word started to spread. Now, yes, I did have people tell me no. I had lots of people tell me no. And I've had a lot of people that told me, no, this isn't for me, but then came back later on and signed up to be distributors. And so I think the key to this business was to continue to ask. Ask people all the time. Ask people who you didn't think you would normally ask, because that built my business. I worked on Facebook. I worked on emails. I am a mother of two boys, and married to a wonderful husband. And it was a busy stage of life. I was working full time. And come April, I had to make the decision whether or not to go back. Okay, let me rewind, back up a little bit because it would have been the summer of 2012. I would have hit. I went from Diamond in April when I signed my contract because I was excited about Diamond. I had hit my good bonus. I had made it within those first 3 months, and I knew there was a lot of potential, but I didn't know corporate. I didn't know their heart like I do now, and how I got to know them. And so I signed my contract in April. I went back to school in the fall as a triple diamond. My business grew from a diamond to a triple diamond in one summer because I knew I was going back to school. Life was going to get busy again. I was working full time, that I was only going to be able to work this business majority at night when my kids were in bed. And so I worked like crazy over that summer. Went back to school in the fall as a triple, and I worked full time all the way to ambassador and promoted to ambassador in May, which was crazy because um, I did my school job all day long. You know, I was working with teachers. That this last year I was an instructional coach for Liberty Public Schools. So what that meant was I worked in two elementary buildings, part-time in each, and I did all of the professional development for the teachers. I did their staff meetings, I did their team meetings. I was constantly having to be in the know of what was happening in education so I could train the teachers. And so it was a busy year for me. It was a new year. It was exciting because it was a change, but it was very busy. And then at night, I would go home. I would do supper. I would do baths. I'd get the kids in bed, and then I would go to work on my It Works business. And I would work until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd go to bed and I'd do it all over again. And every piece of that was worth it. Every part of that, no sleep, some emotional days in there for sure, but it was all worth it. And so when I was time to sign contracts again, I didn't. I didn't sign it because I was making great money. And at this time, we were talking about my husband and staying home with me. And so, come May, it came to a point where the amount of money that was coming in, and the vision that we had of where we were going and where this was going to take us led us both to quit our jobs. And so Gabe decided to stay home in May. And then 2 weeks after that was my last day. So in one amount of one weekend, I was done with my job and I was rewired. And we had a rewirement party, and I also promoted to ambassador that same weekend. So that was a huge weekend, you can only imagine, full of excitement and tears of joy because this business has been such a blessing to us and so grateful. So now a day in the life of the Barton family. Gabe is outside playing with the boys. I'm creating this little video. Had an eye appointment this morning. We get to do fun things with our kids during the day. We took them to the dairy farm last week. We don't miss a soccer practice. We're never late. We get to plan ahead. We get to plan out our meals, go grocery shopping during the week, do laundry during the week, all those things that we were working so hard to do on the weekends because we had to fit it all in, we now get to do during the week. And so we get to go to bed at night and think, wow, we get to not have to wake up to an alarm clock, and we get to do any errands that we need to get done when we want to do them. And so that is the convenience of our lives now and what this business has done for us. I can't thank the upline support enough and my team enough because without them and without their energy and without their drive, we wouldn't be here today. So I know that each and every one of you have it in you to do the exact same thing because this is still such a small company and where you're going is so huge, you guys. So grab a hold of this excitement. Run with it and have a blast because this is a blessing and you will be sitting right here in our shoes and thanking your team as well. So get out there, have fun, recruit, and just keep at it, you guys. Keep at it because you will be so joyful as you do.